Derek Briggs here, and I'm going to show you some new software features on the B0 Mark V machines. These features will be exclusively available on new model versions as they're released. I'd like to start by going over the overall look or appearance of this new software upgrade on the Mark V machines and a lot of the newer Mark machines that are coming out from Tsugami. First thing you'll notice, for those of you that are familiar with the older Tsugami machines and what has been up to this time, this home screen, when you press the custom graph button, would be a white screen with kind of some greenish letters. So the overall look has changed a little bit. The way you navigate this changed a little bit, so I want to kind of go over that. If you press the menu key just like you would before, the soft key here, it gives you a list just like it would before, but you'll see it's all black in the background, and you'll see there's menu 1, menu 2, and that brings you to different screens of your actual menu. So anytime you're in this screen, the left side is going to be functions. The left side of the soft keys will be functions in the screen that you're on. The right side will be how you navigate to the next screen or other screens in this. So if I soft key arrow right, that's going to allow me to navigate through each one of these individually. The left row of keys is going to be what options do I have on the current screen I'm on. So if I go to the operator screen here, see, this also looks a little bit different. A little more color here, some blue and some red to show you what's on and what's off. Very similar functionality though, as far as turning things on and off. One thing to note that I wanted to point out that's a big difference here from the older machines to the newer is that the arrow keys no longer do anything. So if I navigate, I can't navigate through here with the arrows like I used to be able to on the older models. I would arrow down, turn rotary guide bushing off or guide bushing less on if I wanted to go into chucker mode. Now, this left side here, this gives you every option. So rotary guide bushing would be here, on or off. Guide bushing less, on or off. You would press this button and that is going to toggle these options on and off, and that's what this left side is for, okay? So, the function settings screen, same thing. We have our work conveyor, we have our work pusher, high pressure pump, all that's the same. However, you'll see main spindle C-axis, back spindle C-axis, they're both on, and those will always stay on. You can turn it off if you wanted to, but our machine in North America, Tsugami America, brings in machines with full C-axis on main and back spindle all the time, so you'll see this is on. I don't see any reason why you would ever want to turn it off. Just an option in other places globally. Awesome new feature that's still being under test right now is the backside G150 command. So we're still testing this right now. This is going to be an awesome upgraded function that we can do and set a G150 on our path too, so you can actually touch off all your tools without actually having a part in your subspindle. Great feature. But I'll have another video about that once that software has been tested and proven, and we'll have a very descriptive video on how to do that. So again, this is how you navigate. If I soft key left, it gives me all my options. So if I turn on G150, it turns it on. Okay. Next screen is going to be my parts counter. That's going to be similar to what you've seen in the past, almost identical as a matter of fact. The nice part about this is it actually tells you how to get to the screen to change this feature. Okay, so if I want to change my count or my preset, it gives you instructions step by step on how to navigate to get to the screen to change this feature. This is just a way to visualize it and see very quickly what your part count is at that particular time. We have our cutoff cycle, which has been here for a very long time. Just it looks a little bit different as far as the black background and the raised box out here. Just visually a little bit more aesthetically pleasing. I think it's an awesome upgrade that Tsugami worked with. A little bit better descriptions on your lines as well. So we have our cutoff, we have our counter. So this is our tool life counter. Still, you have 40 stations. So if I page down, I get up to 40 tools. It's nice that when you actually hit your forecast, this will turn red. When I turn it on, it will be blue. So if I turn my tool life counter, if I select this and turn it on, you'll see my tool life counter is up. I have a red here, but my counter being on is now a green dot instead of just a little asterisk next to it. A little bit easier to read and understand, which is really nice. So I'm gonna turn that back off. I can reset my alarm. So this functionality is exactly the same. You still set your preset and your count and your forecast the same way as you would before. It's just a little bit more visual understanding here. It's nice. Soft key right to my T-Fix screen. This is an awesome upgrade as well. They added some graphical pictures here so you can actually see the tool layout of the machine and what tool numbers are where, and it kind of helps you understand what these values are representing. So, you know, instead of just seeing numbers on a page, you're gonna see, you know, tool one is here. This is the distance in y-axis from home position on that axis, okay? So just an awesome upgrade to visually understand what's going on here. Same thing with T offset page. It's gonna show that same, the same picture of your actual tooling zone on your machine. So the functionality wise, T fix and T offset work exactly the same as they always have, but it's just a nice picture to show you if you have different attachments in here, what tool numbers those are supposed to be, so you understand what these numbers are representing, okay? Next is gonna be our origin point. So this is a nice way to set our origin point, our G300, our G150. For those of you familiar with Tsugami machine, you can set our X1 position, how long is our workpiece, what is our Z1 axis tool shift amount. We can set all these items in here and run that program, okay? And we can return to that point as though we were at the beginning of our part program. It's really awesome, a really awesome feature here. The next screen is gonna be our tools, our spindle monitor, okay? This is an awesome function. This was typically not on the 12 and 20 Mark III machines or the predecessors, and this allows us to monitor the load on the spindle, okay? Now, I can set load 1 and load 2, so if I put a brand new tool in and I do a test on this, and this is all in the instruction manual on how to use these functions. So basically what I would do is I would set, I run a brand new tool, and if it was 20% load on a brand new tool, I might set my percentage number 2 to 50% and my percentage number 1 to 80%, or vice versa. And that is gonna give me a message, but not stop the machine if I break the first one. But once I break the percentage on the second one, it's gonna alarm the machine out immediately and say, okay, your tool is broken, or your tool is worn, there's an issue here and it's too much excessive load on that particular spindle. So the other nice thing is we can actually monitor the same way on our tool spindles as well, so our live tools. So we have our cross drills and we have our back drills. So we can set these on our machine, okay? We can set the limits by running a tool and understanding what is the mean on a brand new tool. Our next feature is gonna be facing. This has been in the machine for quite a long time. This is gonna allow you to set parameters to run a part facing cycle so you can get a nice flat surface. I use this all the time for getting a flat surface to touch my drills off to. I call up my tool, I go to X0, and then I slide my drill out to my face when Z is at 0 after I face it off with this cycle, and I know my drill is sitting at exactly standard tool point. It's a great way to get your tools touch off just right. There's an eject sequence, so this didn't actually exist on the Mark III or any predecessor to the Mark V, B0, 12, and 20, and that is because it didn't used to have a fixed chute. Now we can tell the machine where X2, where is the center of my chute, and where do I park my subspindle in front of the chute to eject my part, and do I want to eject my part? And then once I fill out these parameters, I can hit start and it will actually come over and eject my part automatically for me. Next page is height. So you can set the center height of your tool by cutting a large and a small diameter, actually taking that measurement, and it will do a calculation for you and tell you how much to offset in your T offset page to get that tool on center. This is a great feature that I believe is very underutilized. Some more nice new features on here are the G and M code list right on the machine. So we can actually page down on here, and I can see all the G codes that are active in this machine and what path they're actually active on, what I can use them on. Okay, you'll see some can only be used on main, some can only be used on back, some can be used on both. Same thing goes with M code. So we have M codes here. All of the M codes that are active in here, some of them are labeled as options, some of them are not. And that's all gonna be specific to North America or wherever else you may be. This shows FANUC options, so the G codes for specific FANUC options that are installed in this control. So this machine actually has cylindrical, polar, and helical interpolation. So it's gonna tell you what are the G codes for cylindrical, what is the G code for on and off for polar, and then what is the G code for helical, which is just G2 or G3 with the proper plane selection. So the next update here is gonna be thermal displacement compensation. We have that on our X1, Z1, Y1, and if you page down, you have it on X2, Z2, and Y2. And what this is actual saturation time, and you can set this up based on your machine functionality. So if you're running a part process, your shop may be a different temperature than a different shop. So what you would do is run parts. What I tend to do for thermal displacement compensation is use a tool that I don't use in my part process. I will turn a diameter on, say, my X1 axis. I will measure that diameter. I will then run production for 2 hours consistently, not using that tool that I turned that first diameter with. After 2 hours of production, I will then turn another diameter with that same tool I used previously. I will take that measurement. That will tell me exactly what my thermal displacement has moved when my temperature has changed without any factor of tool wear whatsoever, because I have not been using that tool. It's the most accurate way to get actual thermal displacement. So if you know how much, over how much amount of time, how much did it actually move, you would put that in here, and then in which direction do you need to offset it, plus or minus. And what it is gonna do, if you fire the G code, so you'll see your main side cancel code is G130, but your activation code is G131, G132, or G133 based on the axis. So if you use G131 in your program, as long as it's consistently running that, over this amount of time, it is gonna offset this amount equally. So your machine should stay stable from cold to warm. Once it reaches this value and this amount of time, it's gonna stop compensating, it's gonna stay right there. If you stop the machine for whatever reason, you take it out of continuous cycle, you have to change a tool, it's gonna start counting backwards from this set time. When you start the machine again, it's gonna start counting back to this time again and start with the compensation again until it reaches this time again. So it should stay accurate throughout the entire process, whether you stop it or not. Awesome feature for this machine. Part of the energy saving mode, this is a Tsugami Eco system. So energy saving mode is used solely for when the machine is sitting idle. So I can go in here and I can set this to 20 minutes. And I can say, in 20 minutes, when I turn this on, let me go on here. So it's gonna start counting down. So the machine is sitting idle right now. It's not in memory mode. It's not in a cycle. So it's gonna start counting down. When this reaches 0, it's gonna turn the screen off. It's gonna turn the light off inside the cabinet, inside the work zone. It's gonna relax the motor, servo motors. It's gonna turn those off. It's gonna kill the air pressure to the machine. So you're not wasting precious air pressure and electricity just for the machine to sit idle. So it's gonna kind of try to save as much energy as it possibly can when it knows it's not being in use. And you can set this to whatever you want, and you can turn it off if you want to. You don't have to use it. But if your operator is gonna go on break for 30 minutes, set it to 30 minutes and hit start, or set it to 1 minute, go to break and hit start, and then it'll count down, and after 1 minute, it will actually shut the machine down without actually shutting it down. When you come back to the machine, if the screen is off, because this is activated, you just press the reset button and it will start that timer over again, and you'll be all set. Everything will turn back on by itself and you'll be ready to run parts. Next functionality, it's a great addition here, is the battery monitor. So these machines, as you may already know, come with D batteries to hold all of the reference positions in the machine. Very important that these batteries don't die while the machine is off. So in the past, historically, we would change those batteries at about a year, it was what we would tell people, but you never really knew what the condition of that battery might be, and you're just replacing it just to be safe. Now we know for sure what is the voltage of that battery. And then we can actually change the batteries when the voltage gets down to low. It will still give you a message and prompt you, but you can look at this screen at any time and it will tell you what the status of each battery is. Lastly, we go back to the title page. If you have any questions about any of these incredible new software features, please contact your local distributor or visit our website at tsugamiamerica.com.